executive in the executive life movement. We in here, 2024.
Damn, Dom, you did this shit?
I'm prophetic with my message. Born an East Sider, now I'm residing where the West is. The executive's the epitome of what the best is. And you're just the epitome of what the rest is. Salute to Cali, but we the best kid. The most high is on my necklace. Deities in our own right, king shit. This is the preface. Read each chapter, it's worth the investment. Intricate insights, it evolves, never lessen. With this, I'm taking a huge risk in front of a judge. Cause I'm not talking about throwing slugs and this track's gonna get judged. But I can hit every curveball you throw at me. Over the wall, long ball, Aaron Judge. Quarters in session, prosecution of the reckless. These large bars coming in pixels. Use your Oculus and get yourself a visual. I'm so intentional, making moves based off these principles. Karma's a universe's way of coming to get ya. I'm so official, I'm Swarovski crystals. I'm the reason you created boundaries and distance. Acquired targets from higher positions. I'm the resistance, I'm the reason you move different in this instance. I'm the double extra large shirt that wouldn't fit ya. My man Mick said you gon' get your issue. You keep pulling these pistols, it's ridiculous. You never be privy to what my vision is. Gave me to something greater, I can never envision this. I'm sitting here on the daily talking business with my kid. At 18, she's learning how to navigate in this abyss. How to be an asset, what prioritizing is. And using her experience to enrich the lives of her friends. The mistakes I make once, I don't ever make them again. I don't place myself in position for losses, only wins. The mistakes I make once, I don't ever make them again. I don't place myself in position for losses, only wins. We so official. Swarovski crystals, Swarovski. The executives. Ain't no need for no pistols. Fat. We evolving spiritually, yeah. Being a blessing to our people. Blessing those.
Whenever
We
y'all
out here,
pop up.
executives, black tie guys the heaviest. Doing what you never did and evaluating your readiness. Force feeding the glizzy 60, all them claps for the enemy. I've been savage for too long, my kids starting to turn enemy. Making moves like a Genovese, hella arms, I'm a centipede. In a big body, 63 flag on the play, it's a penalty. The culture can't get rid of me, I'm into things that need witnessing. Christening with the new family executives, the epiphany. These large bars are symphony, orchestrated by a bigger being. And I'm telling you, yo, gotta place God first in this thing. Okay. Okay. We like
What it up?
Super Bowl rings. Winners. Yeah. Executive life. These large bars is real. Move different. Move different.
Been good.
Yo.
All right. We rolling.
All right,
Welcome
all right,
everybody
all
to the
right.
Executive Life Podcast.
Yo, what
Episode
up?
4.
Hey, we in the building, man. You
Yeah.
hear me? We here to stay.
In the building like bathrooms.
Hey, oh, okay. Everybody got a bathroom.
Head ass.
Get to that toilet.
Yeah, man. So yeah, this is episode 4, man. This month has been men's mental health month. We been talking quite a bit about men's mental health awareness.
Right.
Some things, coping strategies, personal experiences, being fathers. We been talking about a lot of stuff this month so far, man.
Yeah, man, it's been good. You know, we got to get the poppies, the pappies, the papa, the daddy, whatever you want to call it. You know, we got to give them their card. Give us our flowers, babe.
Yeah. Well, we just can't forget. It's important, man. Like I was watching a podcast earlier today, and they were talking about the importance of men's mental health because it's a thing now, right?
Yeah.
It was actually a word. It's ubiquitous now. That's the word that was used. Ubiquitous. It's a thing.
Well,
Yeah. So I mean, like,
ubiquitous.
yeah, man. The dynamics of families are changing. The dynamics of the workplace is changing. Like,
Facts.
and it's a good thing, man. We often talk about how the world is going backwards, society's going backwards, right? But
Yes,
there
sir.
are some things that we do make progress at, man. And so the importance of men's mental health is one of those things we progressed at, man. So hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I give a hell yeah on that one. So yeah, man, what I wanted to do a little bit different. I mean, we kind of check in sometimes, but I wanted to do like a valid check-in, man, because again, this is the 4th episode. This is our first month, man.
Right.
We're completing, so I kind of wanted to see, like, where you at, man. Like, I know there's some struggles going on. Like, we all have struggles going on, man. But I kind of wanted you to get, a little bit deeper into what's going on with you, man, and share, because, you know, part of what we're doing is sharing ourselves with the audience, man.
Right.
So the audience can understand us and you know, feel us. And, you know, again, we don't do this for ourselves. We do this for y'all, right? So being able to let the audience know that they're not the only ones out there struggling, and there are ways to get through it, you know. So, yeah, man. So check in, man. What's up with you?
Well, look here. You know, when Real Runs got something to say, we got to clear our throat first.
Oh, shit.
Nah, facts. Man, I've been trying to keep my feet on the ground, brother, man. You know what I mean? There's been a lot going on. You know, we talk just about every other day, working through a lawsuit.
Yeah.
From a pretty tough car accident I had. And, man, it's been tough.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because we've covered this before about when you're used to being a man. You know what I mean? When you're used to being able to do certain things, your physicality, your mental mind state, being a provisionary, spilling that over into your family, your clan, if you're me. And when that dynamic changes, when you're not able to be that person anymore,
Yeah.
and having to be able to cope, so it's still so new and fresh, even though it was almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, I was an athletic trainer, an athletic coach. Of course, you know, you heard my story. If you have, I was a carpenter for about 15 years. I was a machine operator, working in geotech. And, you know, I'm hands-on. You know, I'm a hands-on coach. Plus, I'm an athlete. I'm competitive, you know, so I'm used to being out there getting with my guys, run me about 5 or 6, you know what I mean? And then also working with these kids, like really showing them the game, really showing them techniques. So after the wreck kind of stripped a lot of that away, bro.
Yeah.
And like I said, of course, you've been there, so you know, I've developed a lot of coping mechanisms from learning from you. You know what I mean? As well, we picked up a couple of good hobbies, shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So dealing with that has been my biggest struggle. Like just not feeling like I'm myself. You know what I mean? And learning, like they said, sometimes you gotta be okay with being all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm used to being a hunter. You know what I mean? Like pedal to the metal on go, and being able to do whatever baby asked me to do, mommy asked me to do, brothers asked me to do. But now that's kind of limited and restricted, and it's a hard reality. But ultimately, the blessing is that we still here, bro, and we're still able to be an impact. You know what I mean? I'm still able to be effective. Just last night, my son's going through recruiting, and he's a football stud. He's a stud muffin, you know, 6'4", 215, big sexy, and you know, and this is his senior year, and he was a late bloomer, but he covered so much ground so fast, man. You know what I mean? The coaches were really impressed with him by his junior year, you know, just being that he just started really in the sophomore year.
Yeah.
So now he's getting into college, and he's going through the recruitment process. And he hit the recruitment pool, and they went crazy because he's 6'4".
Yeah.
You know, 250. These coaches see his size, and they jumping on it. So I'm also learning a lot from him as well, because, of course, I played football, but I didn't have the collegiate experience. You know, I kind of skipped a couple of steps and played on a pro platform.
Yeah.
But you know, so it's been awesome coaching him, guiding him, us learning together how to navigate, you know, this platform for him, put him in the best situation. He's looking at going to either TCU, Baylor, or maybe North Texas. We have a couple of camps that we're getting ready to take him to. So, man, you know,
Go and get him locked into TCU, man.
man, you know, hey, he want to be a frog, you know, but whatever the best situation is for him, he's gonna have to work hard, and he's willing to do the work. And that's one thing about my kid. Like he's a grinder, he's a dog. You know, he stay in the gym, but he's such a good kid, and he deserves everything that's coming to him. So, just as a proud papa, I sit back and let him make his decisions as a young man, and I'm enjoying every minute of it. You know?
Yeah. Question, man. You know, regarding your situation with the lawsuit, right? Like, it creates dramatic change. Mm-hmm. Change is one thing that people do not like, but we have to adjust to it, especially when it has to be done. You have no other option.
Right.
So my question to you is, like, since you can no longer do some of the things that you were doing before, especially in your career, what is your plan now to, because you got to stay self-sufficient. So what is your plan now as far as like being able to work and starting a new career? Do you have like career ideas, stuff like that?
Hey, shout out to me,
That a bitch.
shout out to me, because I had to wrap myself back around myself, bro. I was in shambles. Shout out to my brother, Jay Weaver, Big Sarge, big exec shit going on, because bro really put it on my mind. I admire him. This brother's got his bachelor's. He's effing brilliant, you know what I mean? So I'm going back to school. I started in the fall at UTA pursuing my bachelor's in music.
Yeah.
I actually have a couple of auditions. I have an audition. I have to do 6 songs.
Yeah.
So if you follow me, you know me. I'm a vocalist. I'm pretty damn good at it. Shout out to me again. I'm
feeling itself.
Yeah, I'm definitely tooting my own horn on this one, Jack.
Keep your hand out of your front pocket.
I will do no such thing. No such thing. So yeah, man, that's what I'm on. I wanted to coach, but the avenue was that you had to be able to teach.
Yeah.
And I wasn't aware of that until I spoke with my uncle. He actually has a state championship coaching for Mesquite High School.
Okay.
So, I consulted him and a couple other relatives and friends. And even I called you and talked to you about it. So that's what I'm going after, man. I know music, that's what we are. That's what we do. I love it. I already have a lot of knowledge and diverse cultures and genres. So I said, well, man, let me go ahead and go get this degree. They said I can expedite the process and make it a 3-year program.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, so that's my
Fast
mission.
track.
Hey, definitely. I might even school them. I might even give the teacher some jewels. You know what I mean? Who knows? But yeah, that's what I'm on now, man. Shout out to UTA. Y'all just send some up for me, because that's the mission. That's what I'm on right now.
Gotcha.
What about you, though? What you on?
Yeah, man. Change, of course. Change has occurred for me as well. I was able to stay in the same career field, but I actually just started a new job today. So I got some insight. It's a first day on a job, right? How much can you really experience, right? It was just
Right.
more so being shown around, discussing what the future may look like, those kinds of things.
Right.
I came into this job with the intent of doing something bigger, right?
Okay.
I already saw how things were set up. There's the right amount of financial support in that area and stuff like that. So it was just about hitting the ground and getting started. So this is in the field of behavioral health. For those who don't know me, I know we're on TikTok now, so there's some new folks tuning in.
Hey, tap in, tune in.
Yeah, I'm also a graduate of UTA,
Hey.
Bachelor's of Social Work. So I'm in the behavioral health field. I work in addiction treatment and mental health. So I decided to get back into the field, although I'm not at the level of counseling, because that experience, I do not want to do that anymore. So, but I am getting in behavioral health. I'm going to be working with techs and stuff like that. I'm going to be a tech supervisor. So I'm also going to be working in the operations of the facility, which is that's the key thing, right? Like, I'm sitting back, I'm going to be quiet, and I'm just going to absorb everything that I can absorb, right?
Yeah.
Because the intent is for me to maybe a year and a half, 2 years from now, be raising my own facility. So that's why I'm getting on the operations end of it. So it's a new opportunity, man, and I'm grateful for it. And I'm just gonna do the best I can at it, man. Try to help people. Ultimately, that's all I want to do is help people. So,
So is that like the most gratifying thing? Because to pursue a bachelor's, you have to really love that shit. That has to be, at least in my opinion, is that's what you really want to have to do. So what is the most gratifying in your field of work?
I'll tell you what. I'm in recovery as well, for those who don't know. Actually, this Tuesday, I'll be celebrating 5 years in recovery.
Hey.
I'll tell you what the most gratifying thing is. That one of the guys that I sponsor, his name's Corey. Shout out to Corey.
Shout out to Corey.
The most gratifying thing was seeing that man celebrate his 4 years clean and recovery.
Wow.
So when you see somebody who is like, when I met Corey, he was broken in half.
Right.
I mean, broken in half, bro. he's around my age, kind of close. But you know, us being in our 40s, you know, we think we know how to control life. We think we got everything in order until life shows up and punches your ass in the mouth.
I mean,
And
boy.
so then, you know, you have to find some humility or be humiliated. And humiliation was part of the deal, man. And he came to me and he asked for help, right?
Right.
And you know, it's kind of an odd concept in recovery. We do put God first, right? But what we don't do is put the church first.
Right.
We put our connection to God first. And so he thought by putting the church first, it was going to save his life. 7 days later, he came back to me asking for help again. But this time, he had he had a hit and run accident. It was alcohol induced. Like it was a shit show, bro. It was a shit show, and he was damn near in tears, man. But that was the pride. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when I tell you, man, this dude has completely changed his life, man, and he has stuck with me this entire time, bro. And again, you know, recently, what was that? April 23rd, he celebrated April 24th. He celebrated 4 years clean and recovery, man.
Man,
So
that's fire.
that's the gratification
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you see somebody change their life, especially the people who grow close to you.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you see them start to win, man.
Yeah.
That's the gratification.
That hits extra close to home. You know,
Yeah.
definitely when
Yeah.
you have your hands on like that, it has to.
Yeah, man. But other than that, man, you know, still just looking after my kid. You know, she's still amazing. She's kind of slacking a little bit right now. She think I'm not paying attention, but what other 19-year-old doesn't do that, right?
Right.
So you know, I just gotta kind of key in on some things with her and get her back on the grind.
Right.
And you know, she'll be back where she's supposed to be in no time.
Daddy duties.
Yeah, daddy duties. Other than that, you know, there's some interest out there, you know, in some other realms. Let me say that. And you know, just man, I'm just like living right now, bro. Coming from where I came from, you know, earlier this year, my mental health was shot. Like I was struggling.
Right.
Hell, I even went inpatient twice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for those men out there who think asking for help is a weakness, bullshit.
Absolutely.
I went and got help and got the treatment that I needed, and I'm back on it. You know, all gas, no brakes. So, yeah, man. Like, please, if you are out there struggling, man, mentally, if you don't have people around you, supportive people around you to help build you up, you know, those people who don't want anything from you other than just to help, you know,
Right.
those kinds of things, man. Go seek some help. Go seek some help. That's the best thing you can do.
Yes.
Don't sit by yourself in pain, man. You know, this disease is the only prison where the bars are on the inside.
Man, that's tough.
You know, it's a self-made prison,
Said a
man.
mouthful right there, brother.
It's a self-made prison. So, yeah, with that being said, man, let's take a quick break, and then, you know, we'll get back to chopping it up and getting back to the topic at hand, man. I got something new for you anyway, so.
All right,
Yeah, buddy.
let's pay
Executive
these
Life
bills.
Podcast.
Hey.
right.
All
We're
right,
back.
all right.
Executive Life Podcast, baby. You messing with the Executive J, and I'm here with
You know what it is. The big homie, Mr. Montana. Mr.
What you call yourself earlier? You said it was enough chocolate to go
Nah,
around.
it's big chocolate. It's
Boy,
enough chocolate.
look
Big
here.
sexy. Look here, let me tell you something.
Buffet head
Tell you something about chocolate.
ass. Scuff him up.
Let me tell you something about chocolate. I got plenty of it to go around, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So real quick, before we get into the topic of, like, today's topic is going to be about spiritual and skill legacies. And for those of y'all who don't know what that is, it's like intergenerational knowledge, right? Like your experience and your knowledge with spirituality, and who are you passing that down to? You passing that down to the kids, or your kids are the people that's in your life. And the same thing with skills. Like most of us want to be multidimensional people, so that's also some intergenerational skills, like such as like working on cars or carpentry. Like you got a field in carpentry,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, what are those skills that we've gotten and within our lifetime, and the experiences that we've gotten within our lifetime that we can pass on to the people in our lives? So that's kind of what we're gonna be talking about to close out Men's Mental Health Month. But first, got a few questions we want to dabble in.
Dabble head ass.
So dibble and dabble.
Dibble and dabble head ass.
So yeah, man, it's like this is our 4th episode, man. So this closes out the month, man. Like, what have you learned about yourself since the show has started? And how would you put that into practice?
Damn, that's a good question. What have I learned about myself since the show started? That I'm a natural at being a podcast host. Like, it's strange that, not to toot no horns, but I think we had this conversation when we were first starting the show, and it was kind of an anxiety thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anxiety was like, man, oh my God, we want this to go right, X, Y, Z. But with us being in the performing arts, like being musicians, being artists, it really just came natural. I've never been on this platform, but it just came easy. Adaptability, I guess, is another.
Boom, there we go.
Another
now
way
we
to do
tracking
it.
adaptability.
Yeah, adaptability. Like, I charge that to that Gemini. You know what I'm saying? Just that versatility, being able to put on many hats, wear different faces. But I mean, we did it pretty smooth, bro. You know what I mean? It went pretty smooth. As you say, we getting some good reports. Of course, we got a lot to learn, long way to go.
Yeah.
But I think the transition, I mean, it was pretty much instant. Shout out to the engineer, because he even gave us, a head nod kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah, big shouts out to Gabe sitting over here
Hey.
to the left.
Hey, he do push-ups. You know what I'm saying? Wear bucket hats, shit like that. Shout out to Gabe. You know what I'm saying? Real talk.
Yeah.
Real talk. And he's supportive. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I say the biggest thing is adaptability. I always thought I was, kind of easy to step in and do this and that. But I think this really just I kind of impressed myself even a little bit here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's kind of hard to answer, honestly, but like, I think being able to overcome the challenge, because it was like you said, there was some anxiety regarding whether, or not I'd be good at this, or, whether we would work and all this other stuff. And, matter of fact, like, again, will we have the numbers? Will we have the viewers and all that stuff? And, of course, that takes time, right?
Right.
Like, you don't just jump on there and then 4 weeks later you got all these viewers and, you running up numbers. But it takes some time to get established and stuff like that. But the fact that I was facing a new challenge and I was going in kind of blind, somewhat blind. Like, I did have the experience from being a panel, and shout out to Red January and King Charles on the Throne.
Hey, Throne Podcast,
for
shout
that
out.
experience, man. But like, being on the throne with them did give me a little bit of experience. But being like having to drive a little bit and having to do this, and it was a challenge, man, and overcoming the challenge.
Right.
So I think the word for that one would probably be overcoming adversity.
No doubt. And that did help me too, bro, because I had never been on a podcast. So being, like, again, shout out to King Charles, Throne Podcast, Red January, that whole camp. we all the same camp, we all in the same gang, you know what I mean? But just that experience did, and his belief in us as well, because the brother
Yeah.
did, like, he was just very supportive
Yeah.
off the top. So that gave me not, he probably didn't even know, but you know, I can be a pretty confident cat, but he gave me even a little more confidence, just him believing in us and being excited about us just as much as we were.
Yeah, gotcha. All right, second question. With everything that we've kind of talked about again, you know, this kind of just thinking, you know, broadly over everything we talked about this month, what relationships do you feel you need to either fix, nurture, or build in order to improve your well-being?
Honestly, man, and I'm gonna say, like, really bolting down some screws with my old man. We've been pretty distant, you know, for a long time.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just saw him here a couple of weeks ago. You know, he sings and stuff like that. He sings gospel, travels, you
Yeah.
know, a little bit and sings gospel. But we've been pretty distant, and there's still a lot of I don't even know there's still kind of a little wall in between there, but you can't live your life out like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't live with those. It's a burden, man. It's
Yeah.
stressful, and it'll hit you in the middle of the night, and you'll sleep on the way to sleep. Like, you'll lose sleep behind that shit.
Yeah.
You know,
for real.
especially like with your parents. I know a lot of us get angry with our parents, and we're like, I ain't never talking to them again.
Yeah.
And you don't care. Then time something happened, and you're like, oh my God, that was mama, that was daddy. So fix those relationships, you know. And shout out to one of my really good friends, Marilyn. Like, we've been friends for, probably about 27 years, but we didn't speak for like 6 or 7 years. So just repairing broken bonds, man, because some things are repairable. And I think a lot of time between pride and just like stress, PTSD, disappointment, we shy away from it. But that's a strength to be able to face that. That's in a sense, that's adversity. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like psychological adversity, to forgive somebody genuinely and be able to move on, whether you're that close or you're not. But just being able to mend broken pieces. And so, yeah, man, if anything, just kind of bolting back down with my old man. I looked up to the dude real tough when we were young, when I was a kid. Like, you know, he's 6'4", 6'5", big sexy, you know, curly hair, you know, gold chain, you know, but my dad was that dude. You know, I can't take it from him. Shout out, Pops, if you ever watching this, babe. Like, shout out to you. But, yeah, just mending broken pieces, bro, with family and loved ones. Forgive what's forgivable. So a lot of things are forgivable.
Yeah. All right. You know, I learned something about mending relationships. The word amend or mending relationships, fixing them. I've learned with the relationship with my daughter, because, you know, I was away from my daughter for 4.5 years. And so when my daughter came to me, one thing I said I wasn't going to do was try to fix what had already occurred.
Right, yeah.
I'm going to create a new relationship. And that's what we've been doing the last almost 3 years, man, is like working on a new relationship. Me and my daughter we have an excellent relationship, and it's something new. She trusts me. She tells me like all kinds of stuff, man, stuff she doesn't tell her mother, stuff she doesn't tell her friends. She comes to me with it, like, unequivocally, bro. Like, and I think
that's a blessing, man.
Yeah, I think the spirituality part and like the things that I do in my life kind of influence her to come to me for guidance more so. That's what it is. She's not looking for advice. She want guidance with stuff. And
Right.
So, yeah, I try not to give advice anyway. So
Why
like,
girls are like that with their dads too, for some reason.
yeah, they want to come to you to get some guidance, but they don't want you to tell them what to do. You know what I'm saying? They want to go FAFO.
Yeah.
If y'all know what that means, F around and find out. So I let her do that too. I let her get her own experiences. Like, I can't save her from the world, you know, but I'm definitely gonna be there to keep her head from hitting the concrete.
For sure,
So,
for sure.
Yeah, man.
Daddy
But,
duties.
So as far as that question on my end, man, without a doubt, it's gonna be the relationship with my mother. Those relationships are hard, especially when there's been a lot of harm involved.
PTSD.
And the harm necessarily wasn't on my end, However, I do take responsibility for my actions because I have blown up. I have gotten angry. I have responded in ways that people probably shouldn't respond. So I am not innocent in this situation. I got to accept responsibility for that. However, you know, there are times, man, where I get, like, especially when I'm in emotional pain or something like that, like, I get, like, a little boy. And it's like, all I want is my mom sometimes. And I don't have that resource.
Right.
You know, I can't contact my mother and talk to her about personal things because anytime I talk to her about something personal, she weaponizes it. And as a matter of fact, the weirdest thing she does is goes and tells my daughter's mother about it. And I don't understand. I don't understand that. I never will, bro. I never will. It's just the way it is. And so that's part of what I've accepted about my mother, man, is just things are the way they are. I don't try to change them. But what I have to do is find a way to love her regardless. You know what I'm saying? Well,
That's
I do
powerful.
love her. I'm not going to say I don't love her. That's my mother.
That's powerful.
You know,
bro.
but having an active relationship with my mother where we're engaging and interacting on a you know, and there's love in the picture.
Right.
Like, I haven't experienced that with her.
Right.
So, learning how to experience love with a person who's harmed you so much, like, that's gonna be a task. It's gonna
That's
be a
taking your
task.
power
Man.
back, too,
I don't
bro.
know exactly how to do it, but she no longer has that power over me to where I'm sick about situations and stuff like that. Like, I done a lot of work on myself, bro. I've
Gotta
done a
do
lot of work
self-work.
on myself, and the harm that's been caused, it no longer actively affects me because of the work I've done. And for those who have been harmed in relationships, especially very, very personal relationships like that with your parents and whatnot, like, there's shadow work that needs to be done. Don't think, oh, you know, I'm just going to push this off to the side and, you know, just let it be what it is and I'm going to forgive them. And that stuff is always going to come up. You know, there's work that needs to be done in the background. And when I say the background, I'm talking about in your background.
That part
And
first.
your inside, that there's work that's got to be done before you can even approach trying to have a productive relationship with that person, man. You got to do that shadow work. And that's work you can only do by yourself, with yourself. A therapist can't help you with it. You know, although therapy is great, I would never say anything against therapy. It's great. But there's some work that a therapist cannot help you with. There is work that a psychiatrist and a psychologist cannot help you with. There is work that the pastor can't help you with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's work that's got to be done internally.
Right.
Internally. And that means telling yourself the truth and no longer running from yourself.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Come on, man.
yeah, man. We're going to the next question. Now, number 3.
All right.
What improvements have you made in your life recently, or are there any behaviors that you feel you need to stop that will improve your well-being?
I'm still temperamental, bro. I'm still a hothead, you know, and of course
in the passenger seat at that.
yeah, like straight up maniac mode. If you know me, then you know I be tweaking, and it come out of I'll be sitting there 1 minute and then boom, bada bing, you know I'm off the chain with it.
Yeah.
But that and then of course you know I deal with bipolar disorder, and just mastering self, bro. You know, as far as being able to take that power back, like we were just saying, and that comes through many different avenues. You know. Trauma from family, like you said, you got to do that shadow work on yourself, and dealing with the car accident, bro. I just been so up and down, you know what I mean? And I hate that feeling. Like I hate feeling like I don't have control of myself. So like I hate feeling like I'm spiraling or racing thoughts, man. I hate that shit with a passion about myself, and so just really keying in on catching myself in those moments. You know what I mean? Because that's how you take your power back, is mastering yourself. Because it's inevitable that we're going to have problems.
Yeah.
It don't matter how good you live this life. It don't matter how skilled you are, how perfect you think you are. Like, you still going to run into some shit that you don't know how to handle, and some things you do know how to handle.
Life is gonna life.
You know, life be life. You know what I mean? But you do hate but you do got to be able to master yourself. And that's... I'll be catching myself. Like, you spoke with me this morning, I was spinning. You know what I mean? Like, tweaking. But here we are, my friend was like, hey, you need to do what's best for you. And I said, well, I'm going to go to host a podcast. Like, this is good for me.
Yeah.
It's therapeutic. This is part of me mastering myself, taking that control back. So if anything, man, just nipping myself in the bud psychologically, quit letting me run off with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For sure.
I got you. As far as me, man, I'm just gonna simply say the improvements that I made, and I've been making these improvements with your help, is being more active, being more physically active. It's benefited my health. It's benefited my chronic pain and stuff like that. So finding a way now, especially when my schedule going to be full, finding a way to continue to remain active is going to be the challenge. So,
oh boy,
yeah, it's going to be the challenge. So mine is pretty much that simple, man. It's just continue to remain physically active. I do eat pretty good, so I don't sit around and eat a bunch of bull. So, like, I don't think that's going to be an issue. But staying physically active.
So we got to alternate, bro. We got to go from golf clubs to the baseball mitt.
To the hiking trail.
To the hiking trail. Okay,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
trail.
You know what I mean? Like, switch the shit up, every other day. Like, coming up with that routine, that's part of mental health. You know what I'm saying? Coming up with having that routine to keep yourself strong psychologically, physically. Keep your mind busy. It keeps you from focusing on the madness, keeping the outside noise out, bro.
Yeah. All of this that we just talked about actually these are parts of mental health, like
Facts.
your overall well-being. I ran a concept, in addiction treatment. I run a concept with the people that I work with. It's called the five components of overall well-being, right? You got the spiritual. Everything starts with the spiritual. Mm-hmm. You have the mental, the emotional, the physical, and the financial. And those are easy ways to kind of, take the many aspects of our life and bring them into a broad circle so you can kind of get control of them shits. Because, life can get, like, all over the place if we allow it to, man.
Right.
So, yeah, man, with that being said, we'll take another quick break. We're limited on time this evening because, just the way the time thing ran, so we're a little limited. But we can run to a break real quick, and then we'll come back and finish this thing off, man, and get to the double tap.
Just like that.
All right, Executive Life Podcast.
You heard me? Hey, cousin.
Yo, the executives. Word up. When I get a mission, just know that I move different. I'ma stay official, referee with a whistle. Devise a plan, 3 plays ahead. I'm a bishop. Slide diagonal, target locked, they come and get you. What you don't see are the keys that lead to the spiritual. It's my own ritual and it's based off solid principles. I don't connect with others, solely focused on their potential. I'ma help someone who won't participate in their rescue. I'm a general, and I don't need authorization. I'm the one who made it, lyrical God and creator. I'm slightly sadist, I inflict significant danger. What's even crazier is I did it with pen and paper. I'm self-sufficient, I don't owe people no favors. I'm giving more than I'm taking, but a mega drawing for my neighbor. I got rhymes on the mic, I won't ever stop with these hits. Gorilla glue on the beat, boy, I don't be dropping shit. I don't run around arrogant as hell thinking I'm hot shit. Play the background, put the packs and the max down for all of this. Y'all in the mirror shooting reels, trying to get some mass appeal. I have it daily when God wakes me, that's part of the deal. I'm an empath. Wanna date me, I know how the heart feels. Your aura's kinda sky blue, North Carolina Tar Heels. I'm eclectic, multi-talented, even got art skills. I'm abstract as a damn fact and a clap back at your wheels. What up? I got reservations, but I don't have any reservations. I got reservations, but I don't have any reservations. I got reservations, but I don't have any reservations. I got reservations. I got jump ship if you want to run the plank, you go missing. I'm a real captain, been in 3 different divisions. The executive doing numbers, multiplication, not division. But if you really with it, come visit me in the trenches. I love the city on the Trinity, chilling on park benches in my head. Spiritually doing this work, I'm turning wrenches. I can isolate quick, lock myself in a prison. Mental health is real, check on your people and quit tripping. I don't have any reservations on whether I want to live it. Life is a gift, but sometimes it could be a blizzard. I can get offset in my vision, trying to get these riches. I had to get centered in Louisville, sitting next to the river. I'm painting these pictures, Basquiat with an image. Galvatron, I've been reformatted for different business. Don't ever try to put me in a box, I don't like limits. The executive, big general, it's up to me to come fix it. I got reservations, but I don't have any reservations. I got reservations, but I don't have any reservations. I got reservations, but I don't have any reservations. I got reservations. I got bags up, first class flight to Santorini. Nothing moves without me running plays, Willie Beeman. Ayo, Serena, I'm in that gunmetal gray beamer. Don't start thinking I need you though, I'm indulging for this evening. She said, when can we link up again, cause you a keeper. I don't know I don't get close to many people. I stay under the radar, it's hard to appease me. And that's why we feasting, cause nothing ever came easy. The executives eyes high, consist of bow ties for the evening. Salute me when you see me, that's a standard greeting. Any glimpse of me that you had is probably fleeting. 133 in the Porsche Carrera GT with no ceiling. Y'all be bragging about couches and Sig 9mm. I don't give a damn about your heaters, I be in venues where I don't need them. Last time I checked, a real man's about his people. Aside from that, real men don't even have a need to speak it. I got reservations, but I don't have any reservations. I got reservations, but I don't have any reservations. I got reservations, but I don't have any reservations. I got reservations. I got.
Yo.
Back to the Executive Life Podcast.
And we're back.
Back like I left my phone on the couch.
Hey.
All right. Anyway, this is a part of the show where we get it. What we do what's called the double tap. That double tap. You know, y'all seen them action movies where they put that second round in your head. It's gonna stick with you, right? So we drop some kind of gem or some kind of jewel that's gonna stick with you. You can talk about it at the office or something like that. But hopefully we're here to make one of those points, man, that you can kind of put in your repertoire. So
that's right.
What's your double tap, man?
Master self.
Master self. Okay.
Right.
Talk a little bit about that.
The ultimate goal is mastering self. I got the privilege to study with many different people. FOI, followers of Islam, Shiite Muslims, 5% Nation.
Yeah.
Of course, my dad's a Baptist minister, but in Islam they teach I, self, Lord, and Master. And of course, there's many principles to that, but mastering self, because that's mental health. Ultimately, when it boils down to it, to be able to control your emotions, to be able to control your thoughts, to be able to control your space, to love yourself, to be able to share that love with the community, with society, be a positive impact, because ultimately that's what we're here to do. When God made man, he put us here to do business and multiply, and it didn't just mean by children. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding, the mindset. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Being able to spread that out into the world, because ultimately that's what's going to affect the world more than anything. Yeah. Is the spirituality and the mindset. Yeah. And then that spills over into what we do physically. That has control of what we do physically. So mastering self, get control of yourself, hit that gym, hit that track, drop them tracks, whatever it is that keeps you on your higher platform of self, like do that shit and stay doing that shit. Don't tell nobody that you can't do that shit, you're too old to do it. Like, do your stuff. Master yourself.
Nice. I like that, man. Staying with what's gonna keep you on your higher vibration, right?
Hey.
Those lower vibrations, man, they are definitely draining and venomous.
Like a snake, babe.
Venomous. Boy.
Like a lisp. Got that lisp.
I've been thinking about this one all day, really. Anything that puts my mental health and my well-being at risk must go. That is a law for me.
Right.
Anything, I don't care who or what it is, anything that puts my mental health and my well-being at risk must go.
Right.
And that's a boundary I have. It's a stiff boundary that I have, man. So, if you're out there listening, man, don't put your mental health and your well-being at risk behind he, she, that relationship or whatever. There's too many people out here, even family members. I'm not saying cut family members off, but what I am saying is evaluate whether they putting your well-being at risk. Evaluate whether they putting your mental health at risk.
Right.
Like that's an easy go for me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even with the job last year, I was working in a career field that was putting my mental health at risk. And I had to make a healthy decision for myself to resign from that job because so. I wasn't going to continue to allow that job to keep putting my mental health at risk, man. And if I don't have my mental health, I don't have my well-being. So, actually, that's the other way around. If I don't have my well-being, I don't have my mental health. If I don't have my well-being, I'm not breathing.
Oh, come on, bro.
So
I'm
not going to sit here and allow things to continuously put my mental health and my well-being at risk. So those are two things I can do today.
What's that?
Things today I can do is say yes and I can say no. And both of them are complete sentences.
With a period.
Starts with a capital Y, ends with a period. Starts with a capital N, ends with a period.
Oh, we just went to school, ladies and gentlemen.
Two things I can do healthily today is say yes and I can say no.
It's okay to say no.
I don't have to people please. I don't have to do all of that stuff, man. I can simply just take a look at myself and say, what's best for you?
That's right.
I can put me first today, and I can do it without, without being, what's the word for it? Gosh, why the word slipped my head?
You're doing good.
Apparently not. I don't have to do it without being in my ego and all that other stuff,
feeling guilty about it.
Yeah, I don't. I don't have to feel guilty because I told somebody no or say no. I don't know if anybody else experiences this, but you say no to somebody or something, and then you sitting there thinking about it for the next 2 hours, talking about, dang man, I had to say no to this. I can say no. I can say no with a clear conscience.
And say no all the time.
And if I'm saying no, I'm saying it for a reason because it puts me at risk some kind of way, or it could harm me in some kind of way.
Right.
Like I don't have to do things that cause me harm today.
That's right.
I can make healthy decisions, man. So yeah, it's about making healthy decisions and putting yourself first.
That's
so
right.
yeah, my double tap is do not allow anything to put that well-being and the mental health at risk.
That's right, brother. That's the one.
I do want to give a shout out, man. 23 countries. This is the analytics information that I was talking about earlier, but I didn't quite tell you what it was. 23 countries.
Are we serious?
Tuned into our show last week.
Well, shout out to 23 countries.
Shout out internationally.
Definitely. That much
love. For those
love.
of us who are tuning in internationally, we really appreciate that love, man. And I found that, the information that I was given was that over 4,000 people from Finland tuned in.
That's fire.
And over 1,000 people from, what was the other country that I put?
We need to go to Finland. We just need to pull up, guys. What's happening, guys? What to do? What y'all be doing
the other country I can't think. Oh, oddly enough, Iran. From Iran.
Well, damn.
Over 1,000 people from Iran.
Shout out to Finland and Iran.
They were the second highest in the viewers last week.
That's dope.
And then the United States came in third with a little over 1,000.
Man, that's fire.
Man, we appreciate the love. And I did forget one fact about that viewership. That was just off the Fishbowl Network. So it had nothing to do with our viewers or anything like that.
Wow, impressive.
That was just off Fishbowl.
Hey, I'm flattered, man. You have no idea. I'm flattered. I'm very, very grateful.
Yeah, man. Very grateful to hear that, man. And it kind of lifts my spirit, just to know we're headed in a positive direction. You know what I'm saying? Man. So, things may not be perfect right now.
Shout out to Finland and shout out to Iran.
And we've got definitely some learning curves to go through or whatnot. But the fact that y'all are just tuning in and even giving us a shot is very, very much appreciated.
Man,
very much appreciated.
So much.
Had to give a shout out to them folks. And if you're tuning in tonight on one of our platforms that we're here, we love y'all. Keep tuning in. Right now, every Thursday, 8 p.m., Fishbowl Radio Network. We're here, the Executive Life Podcast. You're talking to, I'm talking. This is Jay, the executive. And I'm here with my man.
Hey, the big homie, Mr. Montana.
Mr. Montana,
That's
man.
Mr.
Executive Life Podcast. We'll see y'all next week. All love.
Hoorah.